It's just amazing the deception that was involved too. They tried to claim that they weren't addictive and they were just passing them out to people, and it's. I mean, I talked before about this. I had my nose fixed. I had a deviated septum, and when I got out of the operating room, I was kind of shocked that it wasn't painful. I was like, "This is fine. This is just a little mildly uncomfortable," and the doctor tried to give me 2 different prescriptions for opiates. And I was like, I'm not going to use those. Because I had knee surgery and I also didn't take pain pills. But I don't mind pain. What I really don't like is feeling stupid. And when I took, I think it was, I don't remember, it was Percocets or Vicodin. I don't remember. But one of my first knee surgeries, they gave me one of those. And I took it. And I remember being on my couch when I lived in New York and just sitting there watching TV like this. Feeling so stupid. And thinking, oh my God, I'm never taking this shit again. Like whatever this is doing to me. First of all, I don't think it really stopped the pain, because I remember getting up because I had to go to the bathroom, and it was like liquid fire was going through my knee, and I was like, if it still fucking hurts like this, and I'm dumb as shit, like I am not taking these anymore.
I know. It's the ease with which they were dispensed and are still being dispensed to some degree.
My doctor was trying to force me to take them. He was like, just, you really should take these. Like, you're going to be in pain. I go, well, it's just a little pain. Like, is it worse than this right now? And he goes, it could be. I'm like, how could it get worse? Why is it going to get worse? Yeah. Like, if it just is mildly uncomfortable now. And like, so the doctor was just like, you should take this. And I was like, why would I take that? But I didn't understand why. Like, couldn't I come back to you if I'm in pain? Like, if I'm not in pain now, why do you want me? It was this weird conversation where it's like, I don't know if he was incentivized to try to prescribe them, if he felt like it would be good for him. I didn't understand it. Like, couldn't you just, if you wrote the prescriptions and I didn't take it, like, what do you care? But he wanted me to take them.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So strange. I mean, that's what was happening with OxyContin. That's what was happening later on. We did another story on fentanyl. That was what was happening with fentanyl, too. You had a company, and we investigated one particular company. And I think it's the only CEO of a company that he's now in prison, actually, for what he was doing. But, yeah, he was bribing, essentially, and he was charged with bribing. He was bribing doctors, and there was a quota. And he was basically telling them, if you prescribe more of our product, which was fentanyl, a spray fentanyl called Subsys. If you prescribe more, we will give you more money. He was paying them out and taking them on trips, luxurious trips around the world, and telling them not only to prescribe this medication to people who have headaches and back pain, and a medication that is made and FDA approved only for breakthrough cancer patients. But yet you go to the doctor and you say you have a headache, and this guy knows that he can get a kickback from the company, and so, oh, you should take this drug.
How much of a kickback
fentanyl.
Was it?
Oh, it was significant. It was in the thousands of dollars. Some doctors got hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And so they were incentivized.
Yeah, there was a big incentive to do it. Yeah, and they were also invited to these luxury vacations and to go to speaking fees. What they said is that they were paying them for speaking fees, which basically was the code.
Bribes.
Yeah.
I have a good friend who used to be a pharmaceutical representative, and he explained to me how it works, that he would not just know the doctor, but he knew who the doctor's kids' names were. He would show up at their baseball games, and he would give them gifts. He would take them out to dinners, and it was all about cultivating these relationships. And that it was all about, like, I'm your friend, and they wanted to have this sort of weird cronyism, weird sort of relationship where even if it wasn't illegal, like, clearly he was influencing them to sell more pills.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's crazy that it's still happening, and it's just shocking that not more people have gotten in trouble because of it.
What has changed in Florida? Because they did change, and they made a database, right?
Yeah, there's a database right now, which was the biggest thing that didn't. So you could go to 10 doctors in one day and get 150 pills from each doctor. At the end of the day, you'd have 1,500 pills, and no one would know about it. And then you'd grab those pills and go and sell them to other places of the country where you could get 20 times more for the same drugs. So the database is, and it's just much harder. I think there's one of the things that I remember that we reported on, that you shouldn't be able to prescribe and dispense at the same location because it's a conflict of interest, right? If you're going to make money out of the selling of those pills, it shouldn't be at the same place where you're prescribing them, because then there's an incentive for you to prescribe because you're making money from the sale of those pills. So that was happening in Florida as well, and it's not allowed in a lot of other states.
And then the horrible truth is that a lot of those people became addicted, and then they had to get it on the black market. So then they were getting fentanyl-laced heroin and massive amount of overdoses.
Yeah, the progression was Oxycontin, and then it was fentanyl, and then it was heroin, and then it became fentanyl. Yeah.